Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Become a Sonic Alchemist. Discover how to co-create your reality with the vibrational harmony of the multiverse. My name is Stephen Dinan. I'm the founder and president of the Shift Network, and I'm delighted to be on a sonic exploration with you here today with a remarkable teacher. Her name is Charleene Closshey. She is a classically trained multi-instrumentalist. She's an award-winning composer, vocalist, actress, and author. What quite a bio, and she's also doing collaborative work with other Shift faculty that's really cool that we'll hear more about today. So you are in for a treat, and welcome, Charleene.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. It's so good to be here with you and all of these amazing Shift folks. We just love you guys so much.
Aw. Well, we're very excited, and I know you've got some really cool stuff planned for us, a very experiential hour. And I also want to let everyone know right up front that we're going to have a brand new course with Charleene called Become a Sonic Alchemist with Harmony that we'll share more about towards the end of the hour if you want to go further. So, Charleene, I want to, before we get into some of the deep dive that you want, like get a little bit of your personal story of your journey to becoming a sonic alchemist and how so many of these threads of your life have woven together in this very cool form of sonic transformation.
Well, thank you for asking. I think life is meant to be lived in on so many levels. And for me, I literally came into the world with music. When my mother was pregnant with me, she actually took piano lessons, mostly to calm her type A personality. But even during her pregnancy, I was immersed in sounds, in music. And when I came out, I crawled to the piano, picked myself up, and started tapping. And so my parents put me in piano lessons when I was 2. And I could read music before I could read words. And so music, sound, vibration has always been how I've experienced the world around me. It informs the stories that I tell, the direction in life that I take, the vibes that flow or redirect me in different ways. So sound is something that's very dear and near to me, maybe even definitely a second language. And I think like a lot of people who have gone through certain trajectory in life, like for us, my first career as a professional violinist, I've been blessed to star in movies and on Broadway and telling stories and using sound to create a new understanding, not only of the world around me for myself, but apparently for others as well. But I think like a lot of us who are called to serve, who are called to use our gifts in a different way, it all started with the proverbial dark night of the soul. That when that time that you don't think you can go on at all. And for me, my journey specifically was harnessed and focused into the arena of frequency as medicine, sound as a healing vibrational tool when my father became ill. And I'm an only child, very, very close to my dad. And I watched him transition from his body. And during that time, I needed something to help me reconnect to the world because music was not cutting it. I couldn't sing, I couldn't play the violin, I did not want to tell any stories. But what I could do, interestingly enough, was sit in front of these amazing bowls. And they started to heal me. And that sort of started me on this really interesting journey of how do I even more specifically, more purposefully, and more effectively use sound as a healing modality. It started totally selfishly, just for myself, so I could wake up and show up in the world. And then it started to branch out from that. And it's incredible where the universe has led. It reminds me actually in acting and in improvisation techniques, the one thing they always tell you, they say, whatever happens, say yes. As soon as you say no, the whole scene gets shut down. But if you say yes, no matter how outrageous it sounds, the story keeps unfolding. And that's exactly how it's been for us.
Hmm. It's an
So
amazing journey. Well, thanks for sharing that. And I know you want to open us and really open the space and really invoke a more almost ceremonial container here for our time together. So, do you want to open us with a little bit of a introduction to Sonic Alchemy?
absolutely. Oh, thank you. Absolutely. Let's do it. You know what? So I just invite everyone right now, no matter where you are, whatever time space you're in right now, just go ahead and settle in, because today we're going to be talking about some really powerful and interesting topics. We're going to discover that the universe is a symphony of vibration, that your heart is a portal for receiving and perceiving that vibration, and that you can consciously use sound to harmonize your emotions, your body, and your life, so that you can become an empowered co-creator of your choice of living. But first, we're actually going to activate the power of sound, the power of harmony. So just begin by exhaling, gently placing your hand over the center of your chest, feeling that rhythmic vibration of your heart moving in and out, taking a slow, deep inhalation. And as you exhale, feel your body begin to soften. Now, begin to bring to mind a feeling of gratitude. Feel yourself breathe that warmth, that beautiful vibration of appreciation directly into your heart center. And with every breath, you feel your gratitude deepen and your heart expand. As you hold this feeling, let your awareness begin to settle, drifting in your mind's eye into a deep, quiet cave, a location surrounded by the earth. In your mind's eye, be there now. Now, for your entire life, you've been peacefully grounded here in this cave, your focus straight in front of you, and that beautiful silvery stone wall in front of you. It's easy. It's comfortable. Behind you, a fire flickers, casting moving shadows on the wall. You watch those shadows dance and move, and you hear the sounds, almost like a faint echo, mere reflections behind you. This scene, these shadows, these sounds, they've been your entire world. Simple, singular, easy. Well, now a new time has come. Imagine for the first time you've ever chosen to turn around, and you turn your perception away from those shadows on the cave and towards the surface, the entryway of the cave behind you. You see the brilliancy of that fire light. Your ears take in sounds becoming more crystal clear. They're no longer just echoes. And as you breathe in, you realize those shadows, they were just projections. And you realize that now, for the first time, you're listening from a new dimension of awareness, experiencing deep listening. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath and feeling your heart relax. As you exhale, you feel a desire for more, to experience more, to stretch your sovereign legs, and to follow these richer sights and sounds out of this warm cave. And as you emerge, walking into the sunshine, feeling its warmth on your skin, hearing that true crisp sound of the wind echoing all around you. You see a world of brilliant color, of infinite depth. And as you gaze at the golden sun floating above you, you realize its blazing warmth is that very same gratitude that you've been breathing into your heart. That fire, that passion, that deeper connection. And as you take a deep breath in, knowing that source is not just outside you. And as you release recognizing that that source of warmth, of fire, of passion, of aliveness is you. Now, allow this profound feeling of clarity to begin to anchor in your heart center, and know that you can return to this state anytime simply by placing your hand over your heart and remembering to listen deeply. Taking one last deep inhalation and feeling your heart relax before you gently exhale. My friend, what you've just experienced begins to reveal a very fundamental secret. And it's the secret that the sounds that you normally perceive are actually not the real music. They're the lovely flickering shadows on that cave wall. But they're shadows of a true multidimensional symphony that exists beyond our familiar space-time perspective. Every note, every frequency has a background frequency or tone, a vibration that sits just behind the veil that actually casts the shadow of the sound we hear. And so simply by attuning ourselves to this deeper harmony, we begin to create a resonant coherence within our being, coherence being the foundation of a life of effortless flow, and what ultimately connects us to the truth of our universe, which is everything can be harmonized. So if everything can be harmonized, you may ask, well, cool. What is that? How do we do it? Well, let's start with what? What is harmony? So harmony actually goes back to the ancient Greek root word, which is harmonia, which literally means a fitting together. It's like a joint, an agreement. It actually comes from a carpentry term that they would also use when they were putting furniture pieces together or building a ship. So it describes a skillful joining of different types of things, in this case wood, sound, etc., to create a functional, beautiful whole. And it implies this artful union of difference, sometimes opposing parts that actually work harmoniously together. So our very definition of harmony kind of pales in comparison to the true depth of what this word actually means. In fact, for millennia, harmony was actually considered divine law that structured all of existence, and that audible music, this beautiful sounds that we hear, especially in sacred temples and ceremonies, that was actually humanity's pretty sublime tool for participating in and aligning with that cosmic symphony. In the ancient world, harmony was cosmic and sacred order. This is where math, music, spirituality, they were inseparable, just like that ship or that piece of well-tuned furniture. And this all started especially with the ancient Greeks, like, y'all know Pythagoras, Plato. It's been going on for at least 2,500 years. Well, these gentlemen and others saw that harmony, as the underlying law that governs literally everything, the cosmos. So the movement of the planets and the stars, creating that ever-present music of the spheres. The harmony of the soul, where reason, emotion, well-tempered desire, all were in alignment and agreement. And even society and the world around us, where we all work together for a better world. Kind of sounds like a pretty good definition to me. Well then, this idea of harmony really stuck. And even into 800 years later in ancient Rome, Boethicius, he actually created a three-tiered perspective of this musical universe, which I love. He talks about how the audible music that we play was actually just a reflection of the higher silent harmonies of ourselves, the human being, and of the cosmos. The ancients used harmony purposefully as a form of like a spiritual technology that they would infuse and interweave into their sacred ceremonies. They'd even engineer their temples and their sacred sites with cosmic ratios to generate fields of resonance, of harmony. Music, think of it as functional magic for attunement, where the human could directly connect and experience the divine. Life was harmony. Harmony was multidimensional. It was everywhere. And music and sound, the most perfect audible expression of that harmony. Well, time marched on, as it always does. And good old humans, we decided to shift from this beautiful right brain perspective into our very scientific, linear, let's explain it. How do we quantify it? Understanding. So, enter the scientific revolution around 1600. Well, it kind of sadly, in some ways, demoted the beauty of this harmony that pervaded all of life, from a cosmic law to personal taste. And even while this new worldview stripped away harmony of that sacred divine connection, it actually provided very profound discoveries, one of which is the harmonic series, which is so important because what the harmonic series tells us is that even when one tone is sounded, it's never just one frequency that we hear, but a multitude of sounds that combine, that we don't perceive. The harmonic series begins to define the multidimensionality of sound, even though they didn't know it at the time. Well, nowadays, fast forward, we're shifting back into that right brain perspective where feeling, gnosis, knowing, this direct perception, divine revelation is really important. So this is why we have so many incredible sound healers, people who are moved by sound, who can experience sound visibly with cymatics. Thanks, John Stuart Reid and others. And also various spiritual movements that are now remembering these ancient concepts and truths about vibrational harmony. But the cool thing is, Stephen, now it's backed by quantum physics. And I'm pretty geeky, and this gets me very excited because now my passion, art, and my wonderful hobby, science, is now pushing us further into this alchemical understanding of the power of sound. Quantum mechanics actually tells us, Stephen, that the same laws of harmony, resonance, and vibration that govern music also govern the structure of matter, which means vibration gives rise to matter, and that all matter is just organized vibration, which means everything can be harmonized. Which to me is pretty darn cool. If we continue down this very scientific understanding and path, one of the most compelling theories right now that quantum physics is putting forth is actually called string theory. It's the next evolution of thought. And it proposes that the universe, at its most basic fundamental level, is actually made up of only one element, one constituent. And it's this teeny tiny, immeasurable, primordial, vibrating string of energy. So think of it as like a cosmic violin. That's specific note or frequency of vibration that you play at any given time determines what that vibration becomes as matter. This radical new theory, though, pretty much just echoes that ancient wisdom of in the beginning was the word, the sound, the chaos, the vibration. So if we really want to intertwine all of this information in a pretty mind-blowing way, for the math of string theory to work, which we're not getting into, there's something that's quite compelling that has to happen. life that we perceive it, this cosmic symphony, it actually requires a much bigger stage on which to unfold. The universe has to have at least 10 dimensions that we cannot physically perceive with our current five senses, which means that music, vibration, the symphony of life is inherently multidimensional. And it exists beyond the veil. And that's what our current thinkers are saying. Hey guys, there's a lot of things that are happening that we can't perceive, but we can infer and project and know that are going on. So if you think about our world right now, everything that you see around you, this entire reality is actually just, it's like that shadow on the cave that's being projected onto the wall. It's just a lower dimensional projection of this really rich, multi-dimensional, vibrating realm beyond our perception. Now, the interesting thing, my friend, is that this entire cosmic symphony is actually incomplete if it lacks one essential element. My friend, you are that element because you are the conductor. You are the perceiver of these realities. And without you, the symphony can't exist, which I think is pretty cool. So, how do we perceive beyond the veil? Stephen, have you ever wondered that? Like, there's so much going on around, and we have so many different ways to kind of tap into that. Is that something that ever strikes you?
We definitely do a lot of programs around going beyond the veil, and I think that what it seems like you're going to lead us into is how we can help do that sonically, you know?
Yeah, you know, and it's all about perception, right? So even if we're moving beyond quantum physics and a scientific understanding of how the world unfolds and manifests through observation, etc., it's all about how we perceive it. So a lot of times we are told that sound is perceived by our ears, but I would like to suggest that actually the best way to hear sound, both from observation and decades of personal experience, is not as much through our ears as it is through our heart. You see, the heart is a profound portal of perception. In fact, it's the body's most powerful electromagnetic generator. It has this rich field of information that floats at least 2 to 3 feet around us, this constant torus-shaped or donut-shaped field of energy moving around us all of the time, broadcasting our emotional state, allowing us to take in information that's happening around us even before words are ever said. And if we consider that this science actually begins to reframe the heart as merely a pump of blood, but it's actually a sacred spiraling vortex of energy information. But this was actually already proposed by thinkers like clairvoyant and spiritual scientist Rudolf Steiner, and even modern new biology medical doctors today, Dr. Tom Cowan, among others. And it makes you wonder if this ability to touch the unseen is perhaps why we have heartache, or why our heart flutters when we're in love, because the heart is that portal. So if the heart is the portal to this multidimensional reality, and the key to that portal is then coherence. Coherence is just a measurable state of alignment, of harmony between your heart, your mind, which puts all of your body systems into greater order. If you generate coherence, you open this gateway, shifting from a passive perceiver of energy to a conscious co-creator of your reality. It's all about opening the portal, where your heart actually begins to harmonize your entire state of being, shifting your emotional state, where you can fundamentally change the reality around that you desire to experience, because I reiterate, everything can be harmonized. So, Stephen, would you like to?
I love the basic premise here that everything can be harmonized, and that sound is how we bring the universe into coherence, or it can be. And so, what a beautiful core message. So let's dive into the next journey with that.
I think one of the things too that I'll interject here is one of the things I love about music and that has always just been so profound to me is that music's twin sister is silence. Silence is where we connect into that all, that the totality of this universal experience. So how do we more easily get there is by changing the music. And when we specifically craft music that guides us. Remember, music is just organized sound, organized vibration. When we organize vibration in a way that we can move directly into that silence, suddenly we have a different experience of music itself. Even Mozart, he talks about, well, it's not just about, yeah, the musical notes are great, fantastic, and I'm paraphrasing. The musical notes are great, but what's more important is that we set up the silence, because that's where the profound insight and revelations exist. So let's see if we can set up this silence, because it's all about co-creating with sound to take us into these very places of divine revelation, or just of, physicalizing life a little easier, a little greater flow. It makes a lot more sense to us. So, Stephen, all right, you and I were going to do this, buddy. So, Stephen, I would like for you to co-create with sound with me. All I'm going to ask you to do in a minute is just begin to make a noise. Just vocalize with your throat. It can be any sound. It doesn't have to be pretty. It doesn't even have to be your voice. It can be any sound you would like to create using the instrument of your voice. Sometimes we think that the voice is us and it has to be pretty and perfect and beautiful, but the reality is that it's no different. These vocal cords, this whole apparatus that we have been blessed with, is actually no different than a violin that we play. We just have to approach it a little differently with our eyes closed, because let's just say you can't see it, right? So let's begin just to create any sort of sound. And I'd like for you just to kind of create an initial sound, and then we'll go from there. Perfect. Fantastic. Fantastic. Wonderful. That was great. Now, Stephen, can I ask you, just close your eyes.
Yep.
And what I'd like for you to do, I'd invite you to begin to turn your attention to your voice. You may want to actually perceive yourself stepping just gently outside of your body, turning back around and observing your instrument. Now, from that perspective, begin to make the same or a similar type of sound. Beautiful. Wonderful. Now, begin from this same perspective, looking back at yourself, knowing that there's no right or wrong way to do any of this. Begin to see sound happening from your vocal cords before sound even moves from your lips. So begin to see those vibrations beginning to percolate up. You might even feel them in your throat, beginning to arrive. And then when it feels right to you, invite air to move up from your lungs, up over those vocal cords and out your mouth. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, from this same perspective, these same steps, see yourself saying, hello, hi sound. May I create with you? And begin to allow that breath to move up over those vocal cords and out your mouth. Beautiful. Stephen, what did you notice during that?
I think the first one I felt more like I was more forward and kind of projecting, and kind of then I found more the central channel a little bit more, and it felt like I could feel like I'm a little bit more of a I don't know, like a resonant, like a going back and forth rather than just sort of projecting out.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I'll share with you what I heard was a definite trajectory, a shift, a change in your sound. It became more whole, more full, more resonant, not only in your voice, your instrument itself, but the sound itself by that last, by the number 4 utterance, actually had what I call less holes, which means there was more of this co-creating understanding of moving, of magnifying, of manifesting sound in a really powerful and profound way. And see, any one of us, we can do this anytime, and it doesn't matter what type of sound you use. It could be a lawn blower that's going outside right now. It could be a hair dryer. It could be the buzz of the elevator as you go up 30 floors. It could be the cry of a baby. Do this and start to co-create with sound, and you can actually begin to shift and harmonize not only yourself, but the environment and the world around you. It's all about learning and figuring out and cultivating that ability to listen and know what you're listening for to co-create with sound. My friend, that was high five. That was great. That was amazing. All right, we're done. We don't need to do anything else.
Those are not like little meditations I've ever done before in terms of just orienting around the sound and where it's sourcing from, and this was very, very cool.
It was brilliant. And and the cool thing is that harmony, we always think of harmony has to be pretty. Well, the interesting thing is that harmony by its very definition is actually a polarity of opposites. Consonants, pretty sounds, and dissonance, not so pretty sounds. Consonants, gorgeous, right? Okay. Dissonance. And yet, we introduced one other tone, and the harmony began to shift, and it became beautiful. It became accessible to us in our body. So harmony is actually just an alignment of frequencies of vibrations. You can use it with instruments, you can do it with your voice, you can do it with anything. You can do it with elements of intention. We do it with shape information. It's how the ancients built these sacred temple sites that invoked harmony and the divine, this greater connection. Harmony is a universal language, and it's almost like it has an energetic user manual, which I think is really cool. So, in music, we create harmony by combining notes. And these notes are called chords, which basically just means 2 or more notes played at one time. Now, I like to think of it as like sound alchemy. So if I play a single color, one single note, it might sound like the color blue. Well, if I play another note that may sound like the color red, what happens if I add the 2 together, beginning to alchemize, change, and shift, and suddenly my blue and red almost have this more indigo kind of vibration and effect. It's pretty trippy. And it's this real magic that connects us by using harmony to evoke feelings or emotions. It's why some chords sound happy. It's why some chords sound sad. What's interesting is that it's all built into the natural vibration of everything. Stephen, this is kind of fun. I love this. So did you know that early rock and roll music, like from the 1950s on, most songs had 3 chords. They used exactly 3 different combinations of tones for a particular song. So, and I mean songs like Elvis, Jailhouse Rock, Shake, Rattle, and Roll, Hound Dog, La Bamba, Ring of Fire. Everybody loves 3 Little Birds. These songs all have 3 little chords. They're simple, they repeat, and they're powerful, and they are extremely effective. Now, what's interesting is that even how we use sound, how we make music, how we use harmony in modern day is actually reflected back to what Pythagoras, 2,500 years ago, said. And he discovered that the 4 chords that are the most stable chords in all of sound are the octave, connects us to the 1 chord, the 5th, and the 4th. This harmony has such a powerful effect. It's very aligning, it's very easy, it becomes almost hypnotic. We can really get into it. What's interesting, I like patterns. I think all of life is patterns. And so if we look at the pattern of 3 in numerology, that actually connects us to the idea of creativity and charisma. This idea of this triangle, past, present, future, the Holy Trinity, mind, body, spirit, that creative process of birth, life, death, or rebirth. Now, Stephen, what if I told you that almost every contemporary pop song from like the 1980s on has 4 chords? We're moving up in the world.
That's an interesting progression.
Exactly. So, I mean, songs that most people know. Journey's Don't Stop Believin', John Denver's Take Me Home, Country Roads, U2, With or Without You, even Taylor Swift, a lot of Taylor Swift. So simply by adding just one extra chord, one extra combination of harmony into the mix, suddenly, as a listener, we can experience an entire cycle of emotions. There's new emotional complexity just by adding this one chord. And all of that to say is that how chords, notes are combined influence how we perceive music, and it becomes the very sonic architecture, those sacred ratios to generate a cathedral, a frequency, a palace of sound around us that build the entire landscape of our emotional response of our feelings. In fact, there's actually specific musical harmonies or chords that are encoded with very precise archetypal information that your body instinctively resonates and understands. These codes, again, they're like an energetic user manual, which allow you to bring in specific energies, resonances that might support you at any given moment. It could be courage, peace, prosperity, creativity, or even more archetypal story-based narratives like the ruler, the kingdom, the magician, the sage, the rebel. Any of these vibrations actually are something that you can tap into and encode into your system, reinforcing the alchemizing power of organized sound. So how do we learn to use this energetic user manual? How do we become one who consciously conducts that symphony of life, who directs this power? And we do it through the practice, the art of sonic alchemy. I like to think of it this way. If alchemy is the art of turning the ordinary into the extraordinary, like those cool dudes with big pointy hats back in the day in their cool underground laboratories that they would take lead and turn it into gold, well, sonic alchemy is our ability to use sound to dissolve energetic blocks and actually manifest a life of flow, happiness, of harmony. Because everything can be harmonized, and sonic alchemy is how you co-create with multidimensional sound. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I'd like for you to actually begin to experience this just one last time, just one bit of an embodiment. So just settling into your space, beginning to direct your attention now inward, watching the rise and fall of your breath. Allowing your attention now to descend directly into your first energy center, that first chakra, the Muladhara chakra, right in your hip bowl. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, and as you gently exhale, beginning to feel more rooted, aligned, and grounded. Allowing your attention now just to drift softly up into that watery center of the second energy center behind your belly button, that low belly, this place of creative manifestation, what we birth into the world. Inviting these frequencies Before you slowly exhale, your attention now directs itself upward into that third energy center in the solar plexus, that seat of fire, of passion. This place of eternal spring. Beautiful, breathing into that space, balancing your inner flame. You may find you need to turn it down a little, or perhaps turn it up. You'll find that these frequencies will begin to fill in any proverbial space that would appreciate support. Good. You're doing beautifully. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, feeling your heart relax. And as you slowly exhale, your attention now drifts into the area of your sacred heart, this place of connection, of peace, harmony, laughter, love. Feeling the simultaneous upward flow of energy, moving from those lower energy centers with a simultaneous downward flow as well. This energy center, the anahata, means the unstruck sound. It's that place where no friction is necessary to elicit vibration, to begin change. This is the perfect balance point between your upper and lower energy centers. As you take a deep breath in, feeling your heart expanding even more. As you slowly exhale, your attention rising. Rising into the area of your throat. This place where you speak your truth. Breathing in this energy information that you can hear and the information that you are still to perceive coming from the multidimensional space. Allow it to fill the area of your throat where what you speak becomes law, for it is in perfect harmony with your divine self. Taking a deep breath in, the heart relaxing, and as you exhale, your attention now shifts into the area of your head, to that third eye center, that sixth energy center, the Ajna chakra, the seat of intuition, where that still small voice, where you know that you know that you know that you know, whispers quietly, connecting you into that subtle realm beyond this time space. And as you gently breathe in, your attention rises to that crown, the top of your head, that seventh energy center. Exhaling. This pure connectedness to all is beyond words. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in. Your heart relaxes and expands at the same time before you gently exhale. Everything can be harmonized. You can harmonize anything. Taking a deep breath in, holding that breath in, your sacred heart relaxes. As you slowly exhale, beginning to come back more fully present into your body, landing softly, completely, feeling greater harmony within you and around you, and moving through you. Well done. Well done.
Exquisite. Thank you, Charlene. What a beautiful embodiment of the message that everything can be harmonized, that this is not just about making beautiful sounds, but it's about bringing life into coherence and on all levels. And really so extraordinary.
Oh, thank you. Well, it's something that we can all do. We all have the capacity to do it. You don't have to be a musician.
Yeah.
You can absolutely learn these techniques in really easy, accessible, powerful ways. And the world needs you to do this. The world needs that harmony. And you can be the progenitor, the maker, the creator of that harmony. You may be you may be playing at Carnegie Hall, you're like, hey, I have a singing bowl. What do I do? You don't even have to have a singing bowl. You can, as you so beautifully demonstrated, Stephen, just your voice. Your resonance is what changes the world. Everything can be harmonized.
It's beautiful. You took me out of my self-imposed category of roadie into now I'm a sonic alchemist as well. So thank you.
You are. We're just going to get you a cool hat.
I love everything you shared. I mean, it was brilliant weaving of history and spiritual principles and sonic understanding and beautiful. It's just really exquisite. So I want to spend some time now talking more explicitly about how people can go deeper with you into this sonic alchemy work, which I think is really a profound weaving of deeper musical understanding with the spiritual principles of how to harmonize all of life. So let's talk about that. So Charlene has agreed to teach a brand new course for Shift. We're very excited about it. It's called Become a Sonic Alchemist with Harmony. And it's actually an acronym. Then you'll see why the acronym is there. Heal, manifest, and shift your consciousness through 7 principles of sound to harmonize your life. So this goes beyond something that's just for sound healers. This is really about understanding deeper principles of the universe and how sound can be a vehicle for this harmonization of all levels of your being and the life around you as well. So Charlene, I'd love for you to, the URL for this is alchemyofsoundcourse.com, alchemyofsoundcourse.com. And it's a 7-week program, and there's no prerequisites. You don't have to have a background as a musician or healer or anything. It's really just if you want to learn these deeper principles of how to bring your life into harmony with sound as a vehicle. So Charlene, why don't you give us some of your intentions for what you want people to come away from this program with, and then let's go through the modules.
Oh, thank you so much, Stephen. I think the importance of living is living with purpose. And how do we live our most purposeful life is by creating greater flow. And it doesn't matter what we do. We could be an accountant, we could be a sound healer, we could be a pianist in Carnegie Hall. Any of those things, it's all about living with heightened levels of intention and purpose. And if everything's vibrating, it kind of makes sense that we can use vibration to generate aspects of this harmony. So no matter how we show up in the world, we can really show up in the world. So I love this program because it touches people wherever they are. It doesn't matter if, sound healers will get a lot out of this, not only about how to co-create with sound for themselves and for others, but the accountant will as well, as even a musician who can begin to understand from a different perspective what it is that we do. I think it's also really interesting that I pulled in the example of an accountant because they deal with numbers. And remember at the beginning we said music is math. So all of life in this sphere of flow, of harmony, is already so deeply interconnected. And when we understand how to listen, how to perceive, and thus how to harmonize everything, suddenly life gets more beautiful. more accessible. It flows. We can alchemize literally anything.
Beautiful. Module 1 is H for heart. Awaken your heart's electromagnetic field as a powerful receiver of vibrational intelligence.
Yeah, I love this. We're going to actually shift just from hearing surface level vibration, noise, etc. with our ears, which is a very important thing to be able to do, but we're going to begin to shift into a more powerful way to perceive that multidimensional music that's otherwise in the silence, but that's actually there. It's interesting, there are some of us who can actually hear things that aren't there. So how can we tap in more to that ability to perceive more deeply beyond the proverbial five senses into a much more aware understanding of what's happening around us at any given moment of any given day?
Module 2, A for alchemical acoustics. Perform your own emotional detox and biofield tuning to recalibrate your cellular song.
Yeah, well, science also has to have left brain understanding as well. So we're really going to tap into aspects of the polyvagal theory and why certain sounds elicit certain responses within our body. It's a really powerful topic. You can hear a certain sound and immediately shift into a different state. You can hear another sound and shift into an alternate state. And we're going to talk about that, explore that, and show all the science behind that because it's really powerful. And it empowers us to move from being a passive reactor to sound to becoming an active regulator of your own nervous system with sound.
Module 3, R, reality as resonance. Compose your reality by manifesting with the right frequency.
Yeah, we're going to shift from seeing the outer world as separate and random into this understanding that the subtle informs matter. So how do we move from this into a downward causation model where consciousness creates matter to empower you to inform and shape your life?
Module 4, M, multidimensional music. Harness the healing power of geometric sound through musical intervals and their role in creating form.
Music is math, is shape. Shape information is one of the most easily and most directable information that comes through from that point of silence and lands into sound. And then we do with it as we may. So we're going to talk about how is it that the shape information actually can directly impact our system, and how does it connect to sound, to vibration, to music? We're going to look at that. We're also going to be diving into aspects of biogeometry. It's a powerful science out of Egypt that is pretty trippy. It combines aspects of French radiesthesia with ancient Egyptian temple sciences, all backed by modern research and science.
That's going to be a mind-blowing module. Module 5, O, Oracle of the Overtones. Decode the language of harmonics and translate it into wisdom.
Listen, we are our own tuned instruments of actual harmony. It's whenever we move off of our center that sometimes we're not sure what the information is and what we need to do with the information that's coming at us so quickly and so fast in today's world. So we're going to actually learn how to recenter ourselves and connect into a more divinely aligned state where we can become the oracle of our own information, and to know what this information that's coming at us, what does it mean? What is it trying to tell me? It's pretty cool.
Module 6, N, Nexus of the Now. Take a quantum leap into the now with 0-point tuning.
Listen, it's all about learning what that background is, that background frequency information is, so that we can embody it right here, right now, as a multidimensional experience of perfect harmony.
And finally, Module 7, Y, your signature frequency. Broadcast your inherent genius to the world as the embodied, empowered composer of your reality.
Listen, you have a frequency that nobody else in the world does. You have your own natural set of resonating codes that are all around you. And when you can hear your natural resonant state, suddenly the entire world, all of the outside noise begins to shift, and you become more certain, you have more clarity, you have a greater understanding of who you are in any given moment of any given day because of your natural signature frequency, which we're going to tap into, because that's the vibration that when you put out in the world, suddenly the world comes to you. It's that place of attraction. It's that place of flow, of beauty, of peace, of equanimity, of any color that you'd like for it to be. But it is the point of personal empowerment. And it's actually, I'm super stoked about that particular module. Lots of cool one-on-one experientials. I will just say that too.
Yeah. Well, clearly, I mean, it's got some of the most intriguing subjects material of anything I've seen in program. So what a mind-blowing and opening course. So again, it's all at alchemyofsoundcourse.com is the URL. So in addition to the 7 90-minute live sessions with Charlene, which you'll have your time to ask your questions live as well, you'll also get recordings of every session, both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts. There are weekly exercises and practices you can do. There's a community to support you, and there is a super robust roster of bonuses as well. We'll go through these fairly quickly since we're running a little low on time, but there's an audio sound journey called Deep Sleep, Crystal Singing Bowl Frequencies for Peaceful Slumber. Super practical because deep sleep is the source out of which so much of our vibrancy and life flows. There's a video teaching with Charlene and John Stewart Reed, who's a collaborator and a beloved ally for her, and it's called the Lazarus Effect, new scientific proof that music regenerates your blood. That's very cool. Then there's the one with Dr. Ibrahim Karim, who is the founder of biogeometry. It's called The Shape of Sound, Unlocking the Harmonizing Principles of Biogeometry. We don't know as much about him. I'm looking forward to learn more. So you want to share a little bit about that bonus?
Yeah, so Dr. Karim is the founder of biogeometry out of Egypt, and he shows us, excuse me, he shows us that there is a very keen science of establishing harmony of any object based on shape, form, motion, color, and sound information. So anything can be harmonized using these different tools of application. And while we won't be diving deep into biogeometry, because that in and of itself, you can get your master's and PhD in biogeometry. We will be integrating it in very practical and understandable ways to wrap our brain around this incredible science that's just spot on. And in this video, Dr. Karim begins to tell us a little bit about that background of how this is all shaped, how it all shapes out, how it's going to go down.
Nice. I'm excited about that. We also get Charlene's full musical album called Christmas Time is Here, frequencies shown to stimulate peace, relaxation, and the vagus nerve. So inspiration and good science in that. And then there's one final bonus you get if you sign up by midnight tonight. And this one is probably the coolest bonus yet. So I'll have Charlene talk a little bit more about it. It's called your personalized custom harmony code. Want to share what that's all about?
Absolutely. I'm so excited about this one. This is where I get to work one-on-one with your energy and your information to create a custom 3-minute vibrational tool that you can use anytime, anywhere to do whatever it is that you would like to do. We're going to give you a short questionnaire, and you're going to tell us, fill out a couple of questions, and you're going to tell us, you know what, I'd like to focus on this. Whether it's, I'd like to cultivate more peace in my life, I'd need more creativity, I'd actually just like to hear a reflection of myself. Whatever it is that you would like to hear to utilize as a tool for you, I'm going to make that for you. I'm going to put your name on it, and it's going to be really cool. And it's a very powerful tool that when we have offered this to other friends in our community before, they go gaga over it because it's actually it's a very rare transmission of your potential that you can use anytime, anywhere. It's like a very potent sonic elixir of sorts to help you
Wow.
recalibrate your entire biofield.
Personalized sonic medicine that you can use anytime. Wow, that's so cool. I love that you're doing that. It must take a lot of time to do that for everybody. So thank you for your generosity. And that's the special bonus you get if you sign up right away by midnight Pacific time. So this is clearly going to be an amazing program. Charlene's so knowledgeable and has so many fields of expertise that she's bringing into this, and a lot of fun as a presenter as well. So we've kept the investment very accessible. It's just 3 payments of $128, or you save 10% when you pay in full with one payment of $349. The course is going to start September 30th and run Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern. But even if you can't make the live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings, the transcripts, and the community as well. There's beautiful testimonials from so many pioneering people, from John Stewart Reed to Ariel Schwartz to Llewellyn Von Lee, is that? And so there's some really profound testimonials of people who have really benefited from Charlene's work and have really been blessed by this sonic alchemy. So you're in really good hands, and I think you're going to have a really blessed adventure if you choose to move forward, and you will get that personalized sonic elixir, 3 minutes for you, customized for you if you sign up by midnight tonight. So again, it's all at alchemyofsoundcourse.com, and the name is Become a Sonic Alchemist with Harmony. Heal, manifest, and shift your consciousness through 7 principles of sound to harmonize your life. So, Charlene, it's been a very multi-dimensional hour with you. Thank you for your mastery and also just the key messages. I feel like there's so many profound messages that you had to share. So, anything that's still on your heart you want to share with folks who are considering doing your 7-week program?
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. First of all, thank you for your time. And thank you, all of our friends and viewers, for your time as well. Listen, life. The beauty of life is that we are all in this together. We can move through life from a point of disharmony, feeling disconnected, high levels of dissonance, and feel that that's okay because that's normal. That's what society, that's what the world tells us is right. Another choice would be we can move with greater harmony, with greater ease, with consonance, with flow, with happiness, with joy, with peace. And it's these feelings that actually direct us into igniting that unique vibration that is yours and yours alone. And I would love to go on this journey with you to help you find your unique vibration and learning how vibration works as it does. And not just on this level, but on so many levels. You know, the journey of a sonic alchemist is a journey of recognizing patterns and remembering. It's about remembering that harmony that's always available to you, in you, around you, through you, at any time. That you have the power. My friends, you can do this. You have the power to resonate, to harmonize anything. I would love for you to join me in this course. However I can support you, that's my mission. That's my goal. And if you heard even just a small echo of home today, during the vibrations today, and this feeling that you're sitting in right now, I'd love to serve you as we continue on your journey to becoming a sonic alchemist.
Gorgeous invitation. Thank you, Charlene. And thank you all for joining. And again, the URL for going further with Charlene is alchemyofsoundcourse.com, and you'll get that amazing 3-minute elixir transmission for your personal self when you sign up by midnight tonight. So thank you so much. Many blessings.